All this action is proudly brought to you by Dragon Energy, Mayfair Gearbox, and all our associate sponsors. It's North versus South 2025. Welcome to the Bloemfontein Off-Road Club for North versus South 2025, arguably the biggest motocross event in the Southern Hemisphere, and certainly looking forward to great action that has happened over the last couple of seasons here at the BORC track, and of course everybody excited to be out there and going to battle. We've had a little bit of rain come down, so that might just affect things a bit later on. We'll wait and see, but there are a lot of excited riders and teams that want to get out into the circuit and go to battle to represent their provinces. Remember, this is a provincial neck on neck. The North versus South is all of our top riders from KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, the Free State, Gauteng. They're all coming to do battle, and they all want to be at the top step of the podium to get those championship points in the bag and score championship points, not for themselves this weekend. But before we get into that, we did have a loss, unfortunately, just before the event. Let's get Grant to take us through it.
For those of you that don't know, Ricky lost his life a couple of weeks ago at a race at the age of 25, bike number 25, and 2025 was going to be his year, but God had other plans and he lost his life in 2025. And our last national that we had here at Bloem, Ricky overlooked the whole event, and we can proudly say we had no injuries, and we're going to keep it that way today. We will carry on with the legacy. There's a whole lot of stickers here for you guys. I know a lot of the teams have actually got his logo on. And today we're going to celebrate the life of a legend. And I'd just like to have a 1 minute silence for Ricky. Okay, thank you folks.
Welcome to the 12th edition of North versus South. It's such a privilege to host this event, and I just want to thank all our sponsors. Obviously I want to thank my power committee. Without them I wouldn't have been able to achieve this, and most of all I want the drama we had last night, tractors, clutches breaking, fan belts that broke this morning, but still the guys pulled it through.
I'm Donald from CMA, Christian Motorcycle Association. We are here for bikers, their family and friends. A short prayer. Before I start my engine, Lord, I need to talk to you and ask your blessing for what you are about to do. I give you all the credit, for it's only by your grace that I am at the starting line to ride another race. The road that lies before me now uncertain may be, but I face the challenge, Lord, if you will ride with me. Prepare my heart, mind, soul, and give me strength. Protect me from all harm. With ever-present danger everywhere, hold me safely in your arms.
Okay, this classes that we're going to combine. I'll have a look during practice how it goes, otherwise we'll change it, but I will let you know. Okay, the slower guys keep to the left, especially on the big jumps. Okay, if you don't jump the jump, keep to the left. 2 peewees. Where's the dads? 3 peewees. Okay.
United we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa. Let us live and strive for freedom. For the answer I would hear.
Well, as you can see, some of those riders may even have a chance of taking up a bit of a singing career in their future. KwaZulu-Natal will lead us off on the Parade of Provinces. Nice big team coming out of KZN. Certainly going to be a team to watch out for. It's nice to see Ricky Raff's bike being ridden out front. Little final tribute there to the rider. And of course, as you heard from Grant, 2025 was looking good for the number 25. And yes, unfortunately, there were some different plans there from the man upstairs. But hopefully the man upstairs is going to keep us all safe today as we look forward to the battle that's about to unfold here at the Bloemfontein Off-Road Club. Eastern Cape, that's who they are. They're here in full force as well, bringing all of the top riders from the Eastern Cape to come and do battle amongst our usual contenders in North versus South. And it looks like they've got quite a strong team that's going to represent them. Some of them out there in tutus as well, maybe some tutus on the two-strokes. Free State, as always, the hometown favourites will be in full effect. And knowing this track like the back of their hands, most of these riders should be close to the front or at least at the front end of the field when it comes to the race action here today. Eastern Cape coming loud and proud. Free State was making a bit of noise as well, I can tell you. See, the umbrellas are out, so that's a little concern. The rain is supposed to try and stay away, and hopefully it's going to. Western Province also bringing a little team all the way from Zone 7 and the surrounds. And they'll be looking to go to battle if they can. A slightly smaller team than we normally get out of the Viapia, but needless to say, they'll still be fighting hard. The current champions, the reigning champions, and arguably one of the biggest teams comes from Gauteng, and they're going to be a tough team to beat this year, looking to try and retain the title again for North versus South here at the Bloemfontein Off-Road Club. There is the full field. As you can see, it's quite an array of riders, and they're now itching to get out of their tutus and into their full kit to get out on track. Well, some of them are. Maybe Adriano Catalano, maybe not as much. He looks like he's quite at home on that pit bike in that little ballet tutu. Maybe we'll get a chance to catch up with him and find out what his team plans are for the 2025 version of North versus South. As you can see, the spirit's quite high. Everybody itching and looking forward to what is going to be a phenomenal day's racing here in Bloemfontein. What you have to ask yourself now is who is going to have the advantage, and is that advantage going to come right from the word go? We're going to kick things off, of course, with our junior categories first, and a massive thanks before we go anywhere, of course, to all of our sponsors that were here on the day to help out with all the riders. Let's go and catch up now with a couple of the youngsters that are going to be involved in today's action.
It's Rocco Cup. So I'm riding a 85 small wheel for Gauteng, and hopefully I do well. I don't know what is planned for today, but hopefully I do well. It's number 413.
Sean Lloyd from Joburg, representing Gauteng, and yeah, we're just gonna go and have some fun on the track. I think it's gonna be wet, muddy, sloshy. So, but yeah, we're in for a good day.
How's it? I'm David DeWitt. I'm riding number 4 in the Grandmasters class. It's a special one this year. Last year I was here and had a crazy race and a crazy accident. So I've literally taken a year off to come back, but so happy to be back. Fresh, cool weather, and we're just gonna smoke some ass today. Have a Joel. That's what it's about.
Hello, my name's Cassie Vansel. I ride in the 85 class. I'm very excited for today. I'm riding for Gauteng, and the track looks nice, but wet, but it looks nice.
Gonna win today?
Yes, gonna try win. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marlenka Zurich. I'm from Bloemfontein, Free State, bike number 603. riding today north to south. The track looks a bit muddy, but very, very promising. We see forward today to ride on the track. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Douglas. We're here at Borg Bloemfontein in the Free State. We're having a little bit of a small shower over here. Our track is prepped perfectly. We were established in 1972. We've been going on strong since then, and we're having some really good races here today. We've got over 209 races. We're really doing well. The guys are having fun. It's a nice nut weddy. It's brilliant, guys. Thank you very much.
Guys, my name is Mero Bota. The track is brilliant, but it's a little bit muddy. But we're going to see can I push for top 3. We're only 4 super minis, but I'm going to see can I come first. See you guys.
How's it? It's Michelle Kania here. We're at Borg in Bloemfontein for the annual North vs South Challenge. Best race of the year. It's always so fun. We're representing KZN. We've got a good team this year, and track is looking quite wet. It hasn't stopped raining this morning, so hopefully it's going to dry up a little bit. And yeah, we're going to have some fun, and everyone be safe.
Yeah, I'm not very good with a slippery track. It's a bit sketchy, but hopefully it's a good day, and I can't wait to have a cold beer later. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a nice day. Let's try have fun, do the best we can, and hopefully KZN can bring it home. Yeah, I'm in the MX3 bets, yeah. Unfortunately, we're riding with the MX1s today, so yeah, it's a little bit scary, but it's fun. We'll do the best.
Hi everybody, my name is Tasman Strunkada. I race in the ladies class, and we're here today at Bloem, the North vs South event, biggest event of the year. Today I'm representing the KZN province, and yeah, I'm just going to go out and give it my best on this muddy track.
Hello, my name is Zoe Buerta. I'm riding for the ladies class today, and I'm riding for Natal. I stay in Midrand, Joburg, and
Yeah, how's it? Luke Grundy here. Yeah, I decided last minute to come to North vs South. Such a sick event, an event hard to miss. So yeah, I'm doing MX2 and MX1 class today. I'm doing both classes on my 250 practice bike, thanks to Kate in South Africa at Red Bull South Africa. Yeah, we're looking forward to a good day. The rain's here. It's going to slow the track down, make it nice and technical, but nonetheless I thrive in that, so that's what I'm hoping for, and looks like that's what we're going to get.
How's it? My name is Dion McCarthy, racing in the MX Grandmasters with the Old Bullies, representing KZN. Yeah, looking forward to the track. Looks a bit gnarly, yeah, a bit wet, so we'll see what happens, eh? Cheers.
My name's Keegan Crawford, and I ride in the 85 Pro class. I'm from Gauteng, and yeah.
How's it going? Ethan Hoffman here. We're at the North vs South, and I'm racing the MX1 class today, and looking forward to it. It is a little bit muddy, so hopefully we can have a good race and not get too wet, but other than that, yeah, looking forward to it, and just want to say a big thank you to my sponsors, my dad and my family, and everyone for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Morning to you guys here from Bloemfontein. We're at Borg Motocross Club here in Bloemfontein, and so far the heavens have opened. It's a bit of a wet and miserable one, but we're hoping the rain does stay off a little bit. It's a bit heavy at the moment. So otherwise, happy to be here from Bikewise. We're here with our brands, with our tyre service centre, with Pirelli Motul chain loop service, and we're here to just guide people with the tyre choices that we can recommend, mostly being used as the scoop tyre, the traditional scoop tyre here. And then Stefan here from Bikewise as well. He'll explain more of our involvement in the series and our sponsorship part of the deal.
So we've been involved with the Inland now for a good few years. We're looking to continue for a foreseeable future. We're involved in all of the inland racing, national racing this year. We'll bring this whole setup, our tire changing service, to all the racing across the country. And we're here to support the riders who support us.
Okay, so thanks again to Stefan and Bikewise for being here. It's a massive involvement, all the branding around the track. hours of work doing it all, and obviously today is a lot extra. It's all muddy and everything's going to get messy. But for me also being involved, I'm happy to be here, and I brought my bike along, so I'm going to ride out in MX1 on my Kawasaki KX450 and have some fun with the boys.
Alright, so we're here by North versus South in the Free State in Bloemfontein. This is my little boy Blake, and yeah, we're just enjoying the family day here. And yeah, it's very beautiful, the track is amazing, weather, I hope it holds up. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Say hello.
Hello.
My number is 88. We are here at North versus South. Just having a little bit of rain, tough weather, but we are getting the track is fun. And lekker muddy.
Hello, my name's Alexander Redley. We're here at Borg today, nice and wet. I'm racing in the 125 class, number 26. It's a fun day out, a little slippery, but yeah, we're enjoying it.
I like the way he says a fun day out. A fun day out is when motocross has got a loamy track. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing, not too hot and certainly not wet. As you can see there, the rain has started to fall here, and it is starting to be a bit of a concern for the race control and COC. A couple of riders, they're just getting ready to go out for their practice sessions. And I think MX1 is also going to be worried. You can see those goggles are going to have to work hard. A lot of guys are going to have the tear-off visors or the rip-strip system that are on some of the visors as they get out there for the first time. That's how thick and muddy it's got. And it's literally started to rain just after the parade of provinces, after a big overnight storm here in Bloemfontein. So track conditions are not ideal. But it is motocross, and we got to go racing. And let's go racing for the first time today with the 50cc senior category. Nice battle expected amongst the front end. And look out for a huge one between Braden Tucker, Nate Small, and Ethan Stahl as they head down into the modified version. Look at that. Guys already getting stuck in the mud on the small wheels. And a big crash right at the start. 2, 3, 4 riders going down. That's how slippery it is. And yeah, marshals on the sideline, of course, are part and parcel of the 50cc category. They get a chance to get out there to help their own sons and daughters. Nate Small, Ethan Stahl, Henry Jacobs, and Logan Fulton having a fantastic run. H.E. Slayman up there as well. Nice start from him. And it looks like it's Tucker who could be leading things out there with a bit of a fight with Nate Small. Do you really want to be racing in conditions like this? Myself, I used to love riding in the rain. It was one of my favorite things to do. But of course, it just it's a big leveler. And what it does is it brings some of the slower riders back into contention at the front end. You can see the leader, and the reason why you can, he's the only rider out of maybe the first three that have no mud all over their number boards, that have not been caught out by traffic yet, or have not caught traffic yet, because that's when you're going to get all the roost kicked up from the rider in front of you. So 72 leads out, Nate Small doing a super job, and I'm not quite sure if anybody's going to even be able to match the pace. Braden Tucker's coming along. He's had a fantastic ride, of course, coming back from the African of Nations in Zimbabwe, and that MX of African Nations, he was the top rider, so certainly knows what to do in the dry conditions. Maybe slightly different tactics now in the wet. Big fight on as well for third place. Ethan Stahl and Logan Fulton playing around, and watching for Gary Hammer coming through there as well. Hammer time on the way through for a chance to maybe just make his way up into the top 5 or 10 at least. How tricky are these conditions? These riders usually battle when it's dry and there's only a little bit of ruts that are starting to form. There are ruts now all over the circuit because there's not even a line that you can try and maintain. No matter what tires you're running today, they are going to battle. And hopefully the Pirellis that most of these guys are running will be working well and working to the level that they need to. Gianna Ferreira on the Husky. Oh, unfortunately, looks like Luca Horak is down. A little bit of assistance there from the sideline. Help out from Logan Fulton's dad. Getting him back up. There we go. Yeah, straight onto the track. Yellow flags will soon become brown flags by the looks of things, because that's how dirty it's getting out there. Fulton moving up into the top 4 now. Another rider down. That's kind of the what's going to be indicative of this race for the rest of the proceedings here. And remember, this is the seniors. We're still going to get our juniors out here. Seniors are starting to rut this circuit up big time. Ryder Reese coming through there as well on the 110. Looks like he's trying to stay out of harm's way as much as possible. Still looking pretty clean out there on the 110. 318 That is Luca Horrock back up and riding now, staying upright. Tucker trying to close things down on the leader. Quite sure if there's enough time for him to catch Nate Small, so Braden might have to settle for what is going to be second on the road right now. 144 there is Mean Labiskakni, one of our lady riders, coming through as well. Super to see that we've got not only our top junior men but top junior ladies represented in this class, and it's a big field of 20 riders going to battle here. Small now in a rhythm of note, and with this kind of rhythm I don't think he's going to be caught, and even running the rain jacket, as you can see, trying to keep himself warm. One thing you don't want to do, just in the background you see the rider behind that, and the reason why you can't even see who he is that's what's probably happened. He's gone down somewhere on circuit. When you go down in the rain, the most important thing you need to do, especially for youngsters that are watching, is try and avoid being injured. But if you can at all, and it becomes into your brain, is try and keep your hands from touching the ground. Because as soon as you put your hands down in mud like this, it goes all over your gloves, and then when you try and get back onto the bike, it makes it very difficult to try and hang on to those handlebars and to the grips on the handlebars. So this man just controlling things from the front end and has not had any trouble whatsoever. And it looks like it's going to be plain sailing there for Nate Small. He's looking for a chance now to wrap up this first heat of race action at North versus South 2025 with Braden Tucker from Gauteng in second. 332 coming through as well, Tate van der Nest. So there we go. Into the traffic, and he's had traffic for a long time now. Has our leader. The 51 starting to come through there as well, HT Snyman from the Free State. Free State represented here in a big way. And nice to see that all the junior riders from the Free State are here to do the best they can to be at the front end. Ethan Stiles starting to come through as well. Closing that gap down ever so slightly now on Braden Tucker, heading into the closing stages. The 18 bike of Gary Hammer also trying to stay out of harm's way and also hasn't had a lot of traffic to deal with, as you can see. He stayed pretty clean, which means he stayed upright. Unfortunately, a couple more riders who've gone down in the very, very tricky conditions now. The rain has just not stopped, and it's getting even more slippery out there on this junior version of the big BORC track here in Bloemfontein. Remember, this is a shortened version of the big track that we'll see the senior riders go at a little bit later on. Oh, there is a chink in the armor. Even the leader has problems into the closing stage. He's put the bike down. Oh, could this be costly? Assistance on the sideline rapidly there. Gets him back up and riding, but fortunately I think his gap is big enough. He might not lose the lead here, but he nearly did. That could have been a very big mistake in the closing stages. You can see, there comes Tucker now, so he wasn't too far behind. He's made up at least 30 seconds on the lead rider with that little mistake we saw coming out of Nate Small. And very lucky to survive that one. Nate will now have to keep his wits about him and try and stay as concentrated as possible heading into the closing stages. Ethan Stahl also still flying high, still in the third spot though. And across the line comes the winner eventually. Nice run, even though he made a small mistake. Taking the victory is Nate Small. Braden Tucker comes through for second. And not too far behind him on the 14 bike will be third place Ethan Stahl. So representing a whole bunch of the nations in that first heat. But there you see, 25 points to Nate Small. Tucker takes the second spot. Stahl in third, with Logan Fulton, HT Snyman, Henry Jacobs and Gary Hammer making up the top 7 there in the first heat of 50cc seniors. As you can see, the rain has not stopped, and it's becoming a little bit of a concern now for our race control. They're looking at conditions here and attempting to see whether or not it's going to dissipate, maybe stop and hopefully give us just a wet track to play on as opposed to a rainy and wet track. We've just seen the seniors 50cc's out on track. It's now time for the junior MX50s. Slightly smaller field, about 15 riders, a couple of them doing dual duties in both the 50cc senior and junior category. The junior riders, of course, stepping up. You can't have a senior rider going down. Speaking of going down, 2 riders on the line already down. But once again, it is Nate Small, who we saw only a couple of minutes ago dominate the senior side of things. So I don't think there's going to be much competition for him here in the junior side. If he's as fast as what he was in the senior race, he's going to be a tough man to beat. Although Kasper Kruger and Tanga Kulungi is going to be pushing hard to try and stay with him. Paul Graven out there as well. Look out for Milan LaRue. He'll be out on the 14 bike. Gary Hammer is back on this one as well. Another man who's doing dual duties. And look out for Milan Barnes, Grayson Hollander. Logan Fulton we also saw at the front end. Hopefully he can get back up there as well, but it all depends on how track conditions have changed now. Because remember, this is the second heat. We've had a lot more rain in between the two heats, and as you can see, it's a lot muddier out there than what it was in the senior category. The mud, though, does not seem to affect Nate Small whatsoever. That young man needs to find some kind of a sponsor and get him across to Europe as soon as possible, because if he's able to run in these conditions, that's what, of course, they race in at almost every single time they go out in Europe. Muddy, thick dirt that turns into an absolute swamp and quagmire. And if you can ride in these conditions, you can ride in any conditions. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Nate Small can do in the dry, if we ever get an opportunity to see him out there at some point. Milan Naru is making his way up slowly but surely. He's got up into the top 5 now. So he'll be looking to try and hang on to that top 5 spot if possible. Tate van der Nest, another rider, also doing dual duties in both senior and juniors today. Trying to score as much points as he can. It's also part of the team strategy, as they want to try and get as many riders as they can into both of the classes if they're able to. And if that's the case, they'll allow, as Milan Bond goes down right in front of us. And just ahead, another rider, as you can see there, having some problems out there in these very tricky conditions. Take nothing away from these youngsters. Horik Janu going down, or Jani Horik, unfortunately, have another one. That's about the third time we've seen him go down. The Pee-wee riders out there must be taking massive strain. That's Harrison Fraser. That's not on a 50cc. That's on a 50cc Pee-wee. Cody Tucker also battling a little bit out there too. He's on a 50, so the wheels are slightly bigger, a little bit more power on that 50cc. But as I said, those little Pee-wee Yamahas must be absolutely hating life right now in these conditions. They are definitely not made to ride in tricky track conditions like this. The moms and dads out there, I've got to take my hat off to all of you for being the pickup marshals today. It's always a tough job to do in dry and nice conditions, but in the wet and rain and mud, I think there were a couple of probably substitutions made down in pit lane as to who was going to go out in these conditions as pickup marshals. If some of the moms had volunteered, they probably handed that bib over to the dads or somebody else in the team to go and do those duties. Although there are a couple of moms out there, so take nothing away from them. They did do their jobs. Just having a bit of fun there, though. You don't want to be a pickup marshal in these conditions, that is for sure. Also watching those Pee-wee riders coming through. Ethan Stiles should have been out there. Unfortunately, he stuck to his guns only in what was going to be the senior side. But as I said, we also got Cody Tucker and Chase van der Nest all pushing to try and stay at the front end of the Pee-wee battle. 107, Tanga Kalungi is having a really good finish to this race. He started to make his way up from sort of mid-pack up into the potential top 3. He's not quite there yet. He's got one more rider to get past. That will be Paul Graven. When he gets there, though, he may finish up in that top 3 spot. 112 pushing hard, Logan Fulton. Bit of support on the sideline there from him, telling him the lines to take. A lot of the riders are now sticking to one line. It's not a bad plan, because that one line rule usually works because they know exactly what they can expect. However, with the rain still continuing to fall, sometimes the one line rule changes up without you even asking for it. And you'll come into a section like we're seeing here with Grayson Hollander, and that rut will be there, but by the next lap it might be gone and washed away completely. That's how difficult it is for these riders here today. So Marlon Barnes there again on the KTM. There we go. Nice little slow-mo of how muddy it actually is. Just to show you how difficult it is and how these guys and girls are having to work hard. There's the 35 again. Come on, Harrison. That's the way, buddy. On the Pee-wee. You can see the power differential there between the Pee-wees and the 50cc's. There's another example. 173 going down. Jana Horik for the second time. That little Pee-wee is just absolutely dying in the mud. Not made for these conditions. Yellow flags waving just to warn the riders that there is a rider down. No jumping the jump while the rider is down. And I think we're looking for our second checkered flag there for the day, possibly to come from the 72. Once again, you can see he's pretty clean. You can still see his number board, which is a good thing. Same with Milan Rue. And the 332 up into the top 10 now. Tate van der Nest. But, got to watch out, guys. Remember, no jumping while yellow flags are waving. Got to roll over those jumps while the yellow flags are there. It looks like they've got that rider out of harm's way now, so the flags have been retracted. Kasper Kruger having Haven't seen a lot of him, but he's also having a fantastic run. He's in second place. He's also pretty much all on his own in second. Doesn't have the same pace as Nate Small out front, who's dominating, as you can see, as he did earlier on in the senior class. Looking to try and avoid riders making small errors like that. Can't afford to have any crashes, and also can't afford to make any mistakes like we saw him make right in the closing stages of the senior class ride. Two riders coming together there. 332 is Tate van der Nest, 181. Alongside there is Casper Kruger. That's the man in second, so he got caught out by some back markers. Didn't take him too long to get going again. Got past those back markers. Oof. Front wheel washing, and listen to that machine just revving as it gets stuck in the mud. Oh, riders now just thinking, Mom and Dad, please can we just go home? I didn't come to do this. This is not what I came to do. I came to ride in the dry and awesome conditions that Bloemfontein usually provides us. Remember, this weekend, unfortunately, was a date change, so I don't think the organisers expected this amount of rain at the original date. However, the rain has come. We are doing the best we can to get the best racing we can out of our riders, and they are all doing a valiant job to try and stay at the front end. Flag is out, though, for the second time, and it's 2 wins out of 2 starts there for Nate Small. And you can see just how happy Dad is there. That is a fantastic effort, young man. Keep up that work. And somebody find him an opportunity to get into Europe, because if he can ride in these conditions, he can ride in Europe tomorrow. Casper Kruger second. Tanga Kalungi is there in third place ahead of Paul Graven. Milan LaRue. Hammer Time in 6th place, beating out Marlon Barnes for the top 7 in the 50cc juniors. Into the first of our senior categories now. We're starting with the 125cc high school category. Heat number 1. The rain has not stopped. So these guys are going to be in for some treacherous conditions. And that means we're going to be in for some interesting finishes to this race, I'm sure. The favourite, 444, looking for a chance to get to the front end as quickly as he can. Tristan DeRoe will definitely be looking to wrap things up here from a championship point of view for his nation. Casey Lloyd, a little bit of shake of the feet there from the 5 second and 15 second lady. She got stuck in the mud. But thanks for being out there, young lady. We can't do it without our marshals, our medics, and of course all of our race control on the sideline. Gates drop, we go racing. Oh, someone's stuck in the gate though, by the looks of things. As they head towards turn 1, the right-hander. A couple of guys taking the wide line, a couple of guys going on the inside line. I'm not quite sure what the best line is yet, guys, to be very honest. Any one of the lines right now, we've got to ride it down. That's Fenter. Fenter's gone down right at the start. Damien Fenter, certainly one of our fan favourites and a firm favourite for the 125 class. He's got 2 motorcycles locked together there. And they're trying to get them apart. Eventually they do. Damien Fenter's got a massive mountain to climb now. The one he doesn't have to worry about, fortunately, is 7th Heaven. They've decided that today's conditions, they're not going to let the riders jump 7th Heaven. It's just too dangerous. So they've created an exit and entry point past the jump, so that famous tabletop here will not be attempted today in these conditions, understandably. You can see just how conditions are. I mean, literally those 7 motorcycles that came through, I'd like anybody to try and tell me who they are, because the riders are going down here thick and fast. Yellow flags waving frantically all around the track, and yes, that is number Mud 002. I'm not quite sure who that is, not even sure. But that's what we're going to have to watch out for, because there are going to be riders going down all the way around the track in these exceptionally difficult conditions. Can't even see on his back, on his shirt, what his number was. So we'll keep an eye out as things unfold here. Right now, we're expecting to see DeRoe. That's who I sort of touted as the man to be out front. Andrew Fenter got a good start as well. Asher Brown will be trying to find his way to the front end if he can too. And then, of course, Ronald Graven will be looking for a top 10 and representing his side of things. 151, incredibly, is Renier van der Merwe, who leads out. Now, who would have thought Renier van der Merwe would be leading a 125cc category race? But I tell you something, he's found something special in his breakfast this morning. Maybe put a bit of dragon on top of his cornflakes, and it works well, because he is leading the pack by a long way. A couple of riders now, as I said earlier on in the 50cc, if you go down, first thing is to try and avoid getting injured, which is not always the easiest thing to do in these conditions. But whatever you do, try and keep your hands off the ground, because trying to pick up a motocross bike with dirty gloves is just a difficult task. Geert van Wyk so far back as well, and putting his hands up going, what do I do here? I don't even know what I'm doing. And that's a top rider who's come through from 85cc's last year into the 125cc class, expecting dry, perfect conditions here today. and we've got a torrential downpour here that's causing chaos and havoc out on the circuit. Out front, Renier van der Merwe maintains his lead. De Roo is coming through the field. I think he might have got stuck in one of those earlier incidents, and it's cost him a bit of time to try and get to the front end, but he is starting to close down on the 151 at the lead of the race. A couple of guys running their rain jackets. 114, Damien Venter is up and riding. We saw him earlier on, and he's now just inside the top 10. So Venter starting to tick them off one by one as they come through. 155, Chad Kagan up there as well. Nice to see that name back on a motocross lid. It's been a while since we've seen that name. And Gauguin, of course, out there ahead of Ulrich Zwegelaar. Also expecting to see the other of the Zwegelaar boys out there, Ricardo, but it doesn't look like Ricardo got out. Ricardo's decided to stay. Maybe he's just concentrating on the other classes today. But Ulrich is definitely out on circuit. Come through the Pirelli turn there. And if they've got Pirellis on, hopefully it's the wet weather versions with the slightly bigger knobblies on to give them as much traction as possible. I know they were here in full force, Pirelli and Motul, so big thanks to Bikewise for the support for this event. Connor Schlebusch, buddy, I can tell you exactly how that feels. Ask your dad, he'll tell you about Stellenbosch in 1997 at the Downhill Mountain Bike World Championships that we raced at, and conditions very similar to this. Torrential downpour and just mud everywhere. Alexander Redley also going down. He was sitting in about 10th place, so that might cost him a couple of positions, but he'll try and make them up going into the latter part of this first heat of 125s. He has got back up and riding. Now just trying to keep it upright. Right now, the option is to go as fast as you can, but to try and be as smooth as you can, and that necessarily doesn't mean that you're going to be as fast as you'd like to be. There is De Roo. Just saw him go through there. So Tristan De Roo slowly but surely making his way a little bit closer to Renier van der Merwe. But has he got enough time to catch van der Merwe and still pass him? It's one thing catching people in conditions like this, as we watch Ronald Graven go through. He's now trying to give it everything he can. Look at that. Front end was washing there big time. Cross-rutting as he came across the start-finish line area. And there, yet again, another example of how these guys are fighting the front ends as they're starting to wash. You can see the front, you got the drive on the back wheel, so that's going to be down all the time. But as soon as you sort of get your weight off the back of the bike in these conditions, the front tire becomes very light and it starts to switch up in the ruts that are formed. 114, Damien Venter showing us just how difficult it is to try and find those lines. There we go. Coming across the finish line again, and it's still the 155 of Chad. Derek van Arsvegen has said, no, I'm done. I've had enough. I cannot stay out here. There's just no way I can ride in these conditions. I don't blame you. 125 in the 125 is Blade Tilly. Blade Tilly on the sidelines. That is certainly one of our top riders and should have been at the hunt in the front. So Tilly pulls to the sideline and out of the proceedings. Even our timing ladies and gents are starting to feel the effects. So yeah, we do know how it all feels there and we do appreciate it. Griff van Wyk eventually pulling the plug too. He says enough is enough. That's not what you'd normally see out of him. As I said, a youngster we watched coming from 50s into the 65s, up to 85s, and now into 125s for the first time. Hasn't quite gone according to plan here for his first outing. Here today at North versus South. Fights on for first though. And is van der Merwe going to hang on? Renier van der Merwe is just the rain master. I don't know where he found the ability to ride in the rain like he did, but he's certainly doing a massively good job at it. And he's pulled away now slightly from De Roo. De Roo's gone down. De Roo must have gone down somewhere on track, and that's probably why he's lost that advantage that he gained to try and catch up to the eventual winner, Renier van der Merwe, who takes the win ahead of Tristan De Roo. Venter in third place, Asher Brown in 4, Graven in 5. Damien Venter got back up to get to 6th place, and Connor Schlebusch also got back up into top 7. And that's how we wrap up the 125 high schools. So unfortunately, with the rain not stopping, our marshals and medics, more importantly the medics from a safety point of view, could not get to some of the downed riders, and the reason for that is it's absolutely torrential downpour that has come here to Bloemfontein in the Free State. Not what was expected, but with that, the organisers have unfortunately had to call the event off for 2025, and that brings us to the end of our coverage of North versus South 2025 here in Bloemfontein. We look forward to coming back here next year to go to battle, hopefully in some dry conditions, and do it all over again for the biggest motocross event in the Southern Hemisphere. A massive thanks to Dragon Energy, Mayfair Gearbox, and all our associate sponsors for this coverage.